Assalamu alaikum everyone. So we finally have the vaccine for the coronavirus, but at the same time we have some confusion whether the vaccine is suitable for Muslims, or in other words, is it halal? I am PhD in microbiology and have some understanding of these subjects. So I thought I could research it and bring the facts in front of you, and then you can decide what you think. Before I go into the actual topic, I would just like to have a quick overview of the virus so you have a better understanding. So let's see how the body reacts to the coronavirus. As you all know, the coronavirus infection spreads from person to person. So once the virus is taken up, it enters the body. And once inside the body's defense system tries to eliminate the virus through various mechanisms, mainly including antibodies. These antibodies are really important because they protect us from the viruses. And the purpose of the vaccine is also to trigger the body to produce more and more antibodies against the virus so it can be eliminated from the body. Okay, now let's see how the coronavirus actually looks like. Virus has surface projections called spike proteins. These are really important and they are responsible for the whole problem. And the vaccine is against these spike proteins. Inside there is RNA. RNA has all the information to produce spike proteins. A part of this RNA is used for the production of the vaccine. Now let's see how the Pfizer vaccine has been developed. In the first step, large quantities of the part of the RNA which is responsible for making spike proteins is produced. This RNA is the most important component of the vaccine. However, it's important to understand that this RNA is produced by cell-free in vitro transcription, which means that no cells are used and this process is not done in human or animal body. So please understand that no animals are used for producing the RNA. Instead, the whole process is done in laboratory in the machines. Okay, so now we have the RNA, but RNA is very fragile, so it's very important to protect it. To protect the RNA, very tiny oil droplets are used, which protect the RNA inside. And finally, excipients are added, and we have our final vaccine ready. It is very important to understand that RNA vaccine does not affect or interact with our DNA in any way. Secondly, RNA never enters the nucleus of the cell where our DNA or genetic material is kept, so our DNA is perfectly fine. And finally, RNA does not stay in the cell. It is broken down soon after it's finished using the instructions. Okay, so far so good. But what else is in the vaccine? So the other things in the vaccine are the excipients. So here is a list of the excipients which are used. These include water, sucrose, sugar, sodium chloride, potassium dihydrogen phosphate, cholesterol, and other chemicals. The important thing is that the vaccine does not contain any animal products or egg. According to the manufacturer, a material used in the early stages of the manufacturing contains a component that is derived from cow's milk, so that is perfectly fine. Other raw materials used in the manufacture of the vaccine are of non-animal origin. Since they are non-animal origin, so they're perfectly fine. And thirdly, all lipid excipients used in the vaccine are either from plant-derived source or are synthetic and have no animal components. And finally, animal or human cell lines are not used in the manufacturing process. Okay, now the big question, is the vaccine halal certified? Well, the vaccine was not submitted for halal certification prior to authorization approval, and they are currently investigating the submission process. So hopefully it will soon be halal certified by the manufacturer. British Islamic Medical Association has released a position statement recommending the vaccine for the Muslim community. This position statement can be viewed on the website. So here's the summary of the statement. After discussion with the experts, we recommend the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for eligible at-risk individuals in the Muslim community. And finally, there is a fatwa about the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, which declared it halal, and you can view it on the 5 pillars. And it says scholars from some of the most influential Islamic seminaries in the UK have said that the new Pfizer vaccine is halal because the government has confirmed that it does not contain any components of animal origin. And finally, I want to talk about some other confusions about the effects of the vaccine on pregnancy, breastfeeding, and fertility. So there are no or very limited data available about the pregnancy. Therefore, vaccine is not recommended during pregnancy. Similarly, during the breastfeeding, it is unclear whether the vaccine is excreted in the human milk, so the vaccine should not be used during breastfeeding. And finally, about the fertility, it is still unclear whether the vaccine has an impact because these studies will take time, and with the passage of time we will see more details about this. Hope this video gives you some idea and clarify some of the concepts. Thank you very much for watching.